on this. I'm late. I'm late. I don't know if anybody else can come in here, but whew, wow, that was a fail. As above, so below, as within, so without. Great Mother of the East, West, South, and North, please protect me and allow me to see. I gotta check on the volume on the audio. School was delayed a couple of hours, so that kind of set me back. Let's see. What's going on? Step into the collective energy. Connection into. See, I did a pre-recorded reading released. I premiered it shortly, maybe less than an hour ago. Talking about toxic families, toxic energy, letting go, separating from toxic energy. If you're interested, all right, there's a new dawn. Welcome back. I've been on a break. I feel like I've been on a break, a long break. It's only been a few days though, but that's good. It's good to clear your energy out. It's good to separate yourself from the crowd if it's possible. At least not focus on them or whatever it is you have to do. All right, so there could be a death, a predictable death, or a death that's prophesied, or there could be, an ending. There's a rebirth happening, but there's death at this time. An ending, or someone trying to end a relationship, a situation, a career, a job. So we're getting tower energy, okay, replenishment. Replenishment of energy. I think the reading also spoke about energy vampires. I see people coming in the chat. Could you let me know if you can hear me or not? I know y'all just coming to lurk, but let's tap into this collective energy. I've been doing manual manual thing, so I haven't even picked up my cards in these few days that I've been off. Well-deserved break. All right, letting go, releasing. Releasing energies, toxic energies, energies that held you, that keep you back. And you have to spend time in meditation. You have to spend time in reflection to even be aware of these energies or the stagnation that a lot of us go through. It could be a temporary situation. It could be something that's been going on for a long time. Something that you know needs to be released. Maybe you can't quite put your finger on it. Maybe you don't know quite what it is or what the situation may be. A lot of times we don't realize people or situations that are keeping us stagnant, that are keeping us not moving forward. I hate to think about how I felt in those times. I was really, really depressed. Okay. Um, it caused a lot of depression, a lot of separation anxiety. But you have to separate yourself from negativity, particularly if you're dealing with toxic family members. Um, I mean, you can only do the best you can. You have to let your spiritual guides show the rest of the way. Maybe you don't pay attention to your spirit. Maybe you don't pay attention to your intuition. Maybe you know people who don't listen to what you know about spiritual guidance and spiritual knowledge. Let me see how well I can be heard. Yeah. I'm there. I hear you, Mama King. All right. So tap in, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. Wake up call, listen and take note. That's what I just said. All right. I don't know. I don't know how well, the messages of spirit are received from those who are over here. It seems like all the time, but with no interaction or engagement. So I know I'm not delivering bullshit, so I don't know what the problem is. But this is a wake-up call to whoever's listening, whoever's paying attention. Conquering the fear. No better time than the present. Start today, right? Fear of what, though? Fear of losing some sort of control, losing business. It's possible, but it could be a blessing in disguise. You know what I'm saying? If people have fear, it's usually not as bad as they may think it is. Codependency. Someone could be afraid to be alone or feel like they have to do things alone. You're never alone. Have to say that over and over again. You are guarded. You are protected. Especially when you have faith and belief, okay, in yourself and your God and spirit. All right, you'll be getting some signs here to prioritize your life. Now, who in the world is here? Hold on. Okay, somebody was at my door. All right, so prioritizing your life, there's signs from spirit. So, also picked up in the reading earlier that there could be an ignoring of the call, ignoring of your um, inner self, your awakening, your intuition. It's time for your spirit, your soul to wake up and get on the job. All right. I'm gonna tell you, I ignored that call for a long, long time. And knowing what I know now, I had a lot of fear of what would be discovered, what would be known, what kind of fear I'd have to conquer. I was really, really afraid. And I didn't have anybody else to discuss it with, so it did cause a lot of depression. I wasn't living my best life, the best version of me. Okay? As above, so below. So, those are our major topics. Welcome back. It is a new dawn. Welcome back. A new dawn. Let me read that real quick. It's number 10. So, that's a new beginning, an ending, a new beginning, a new dawn. Maybe you thought you've never been here, would never reach this place. Maybe you have answered the call and woken up and become aware of who you are and what your true soul's purpose and journey is all about. Even now, finding it hard to truly believe the darker days are behind you. You may have struggled and also lost faith during these times. Yet you always were able to keep going. That's because you've never been alone. You persevere and you believe in better times ahead. All right, so I don't know what this codependency about. This could be you. This could be someone you know. Someone codependent on your energy. Picked up the vibe of energy vampirism in the reading this morning. Maybe you are or sense this. It may be that you're feeling abandoned as a person whom you rely on becomes more absent. So remember that you and they are unique beings in your own right. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own space. Not saying that you cannot be, joined with someone or even be dependent on someone that you love and care for and have trust in. But that shouldn't be your main concern, right? Your main concern should be you and your independence and you completing your soul's mission. It may or may not involve a partner. We all have to come to that realization. Whew, that was the hard part. Trying to, you just kind of know that you have to do it on your own. I don't know. You don't have to be dependent on someone else's energy or someone else's validation for you to succeed and to move up and to become aware of your call, to hear your call. King of Wands in reverse. So, I don't know, some sort of bullying or manipulation possibly, or lack of energy. 10 of Wands in reverse, okay? So, I don't know, this is lacking accountability, lacking some sort of responsibility or avoiding, some sort of avoidant energy, okay? It could be the fear of facing fears of change, okay? In a relationship, 2 of Cups in reverse, all right? Princess of Swords in the upright, that's curiosity, Aquarius energy. It could be some sort of idea somebody has to hide or to strategize. You could have a plan or a strategy, or if you don't ignore the signs, you could figure out what you need to do to move on or to make a change, or you're doing this. All right, that's above, so below. Still getting tower energy with the rooftop, overhead shelter. This also gives me like Piscean vibes, hangman vibes. Seeing something from a different perspective, seeing things from a higher perspective, observation energy. Pick that up also in the reading earlier. So this is serious, or this is something that's heavy in the air, in the atmosphere. Yeah. But it's the same old shit. So, I don't know. Somebody's resisting this change. Somebody's really holding on to your energy. It could have been someone you went back to, or we just come out of this Mercury retrograde. So, I don't know. That could have something to do with it. You may have recently been in touch with someone or in contact with someone, a soulmate, or you're resisting this energy for your change. You're resisting the call. You're resisting your God. You're resisting some sort of desire or inspiration to change, to make a change, to transition from the same old shit every day, okay? So this is simple living, retreating, being peaceful. Keep getting this reoccurring theme of resting and contemplation, okay? Rejecting change. Now, temple energy, so this still, somebody's resisting these spiritual practices, or somebody has some sort of fear of opening up and realizing how powerful they really are with their intuition. I want to check into some oracle cards that I was thinking about. Where are they? Yeah, these are like self-seeking energies right here. I forgot the name of these. What are they called? I don't know. We're gonna pull them. So let me get something, because I keep getting the same thing here. Like somebody's not wanting to take accountability, responsibility for their own spiritual journey. This could be you. This could be someone you know. It's someone that's heavy in this energy. Okay, somebody's watching this channel, of course. As above, so below. Same old shit, returning to the void. Radical self-acceptance. Perceive the way you perceive yourself. You are perceived the way you perceive yourself. That could be Aquarius energy here. So even if you don't realize, maybe someone feels like they're hiding, or they're hiding who they really truly are. But I feel like, you know, if spirit can pick up on you and your energy, that others can also do this. Maybe you're denying a projection. You could be denying some sort of accountability. You're here to be known, so speak and be seen. So this King of Wands in reverse could just be a lack of confidence here, of taking on this power, or calling your power back, or you're afraid to call your power back. You're afraid to step into the unknown, the unseen. Okay. But you can see within here, like, the unknown. Knowing the unknown. Let me see if I can find my book. Knowing the unknown. I don't want y'all to be afraid of the spiritual realm or spiritual practices. Some people are that way. Some people indulge and, you know, really take advantage of it and realize their power. It's not that you overpower or control others, but you walk in your own power. You walk in your own essence. You walk in your own light. All right. And you cannot worry about what others may think about it, unless you're doing something irreparable. You're doing something that will hurt others, or you're hurting yourself in some way. Then there's room for judgment. Once you choose to keep moving, the next step will be made known to you. So you could just be feeling stuck in this energy if you have been working on your spiritual journey, if you have some sort of acknowledgement or curiosity about it. It's natural and human to feel reluctant and fearful at the beginning of a significant change. Okay, with the 5, speaking your voice, being radical with your self-acceptance about who you are and what your gifts are, your natural gifts are. Nothing that you're usurping from anyone else. There's one thing about studying and being inspired, and then making that your own, taking in the lessons that you need to learn, you know, the basic stuff, the 1, 2, 3, and then making it yourself, adding your own creativity, adding your own voice. All right. Change confronts everybody. Change confronts us with so many unknowns and such overwhelming feelings that the challenge us whenever an unfamiliar direction is taken. Okay, so someone could not be sure. However, to never try something new or to stop continuing when things change is to go against your natural rhythm of your soul. You're here to grow. So if you weren't here to grow, why are you still here on this earth? Okay. Do not stay stagnant. Do not continue to keep doing the same old things over and over again if they're not working for you. I guess if something's working for you, then why fix something that's not broken, right? But just make sure you move in a positive way, in integrity. Okay. Standing on business. All right. What is known can quickly become comfortably familiar, as well as stifling to our gradual yet ongoing possession. Now, this came up in the reading this morning. about being tied to toxic families, familiar ties, familiar energy from your past, South Node energy, karmic energy. Just continuing to indulge in that because that's what we're used to. That's what we've become accustomed to. So it seems very natural. It seems, easy to wade in that water, right? But when we step outside that box, we step outside that comfort zone, then we feel like there's some sort of resistance that we're not going to get what we want. But you're going to get something that's unexpected. You're going to get something that you have never tried before, which will bring about change and growth. It is a blessing in disguise, okay, as above, so below. You have to stay positive. You have to stay open. You could be a little selfish with your time and your energy because there are others who are seeking to snatch that energy and to use it for themselves, right? If you're not paying attention to it or you're not willing to tap into your own energy. So you are being shown the way. Okay, so please pay attention to your own intuition. Of course, be guided, by wise counsel, but also, use your discernment so you know that you're not being controlled or fooled. It becomes very easy to see that kind of deception once you walk in. You become truthful. Okay, so you're going to attract whatever it is. What did it say? Whatever it is your perception is, that's the way you're being perceived. Okay, so others can also see your glow. Also, others can also see your light. They can also see your mistakes. They can also see the injustice. They can also see any sort of manipulation or someone being unfair. Okay, so we keep coming up with someone being resistant to change. If this is not you, then it's someone else who's being left behind and out of the relationship that you're separating yourself from. And they know this, okay? And it could be someone you really care for, but you're just not resonating. You're just not the same. You're just not going in the same direction. I don't feel any hard feelings or evilness or any sort of brooding energy. It could very well be, but I'm not picking it up, okay? No resistant to change, upsetting news. There could have been an accident. Maybe there will be an accident. All right. Something stokes your passion. It says yes. There could be a new relationship blooming, a new job offer, a new career, business venture, all that going up. Okay. Something very passionate, rising tide, coming out of your shell, opening up, becoming more confident. All right. A lucky break here, a very successful venture. Let's get some time on that. All right, we like success. I took some advice on a reading that I did. It's in the members only section, so you have to be a member to see that video, that reading for earth signs, business, and career, as above, so below. But yeah. Pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to the signs. If you do your own readings, pay attention to what you're reading. Really take notes. Really use your own spiritual guidance to move you along, okay? And then when you see other readings and other intuitives, you'll be able to either resonate or you'll know if it doesn't resonate with you, if you got some sort of confirmation. Now we're talking about current energy. The time is now, all right? Conquering your fears. Start today, all right? Yeah, 12 months from now, so maybe a year, some sort of timeline or goal energy, setting some sort of April is significant also. And these could be time markers and February. It's time to take a break. All right, so any of those times could be significant. There could be a year of a time limit or some sort of constraint. Or you could be expecting something to reach some sort of goal within a year, a new venture, a new business, okay? Let's do some yes and no's. April and February are significant. That would be like springtime, getting ready for blooming here, as you're putting the work in at this time, right now. Right, so expect some changes here. You're moving up, you're ascending. All right, it's just everyday life, y'all. I know it may seem like something spectacular should be happening, but it is happening. It's happening within. It's happening in the Akashic records. Okay, the earth is just mundane, okay? Unless you have a special eye or special energy to pick up on it, sensitivity to pick up on good fortune, to pick up on the brightness and lightness. You might be someone who reads auras or the energy of others. Okay, that makes life more interesting when you're tapping into your natural gifts. It's not so boring, it's not so mundane. You're more satisfied. All right. So we have the answer of yes, positivity. Fortune is on your side. There's some sort of unprecedented rise in the energy that's waiting for you. You could be getting your second wind. I hope so. Please hit the like button if so. As you're reading this, getting this reading, a second wind brings a phenomenal opportunity to conquering this two words here, both conquering fear, conquering those impossible peaks. Something could have felt impossible, or maybe you feel like it's impossible to overcome your fear of codependency or doing something alone, or what you feel may be alone. There will be a streak of positivity within your everyday boring life, mundane life. Okay, get ready for everything to turn out incredibly easy and joyful. That's what we want to hear. And we got yes. Let's clarify. Looking at 1 to 3 months. We're still in this 12-month time zone. Also with the April and February. So what are we in December now? So that's 2 to 3 months, 1 to 2 to 3 months here, February, and then April is also significant. Harbingers of good luck enter your life in the form of unorthodox, out-of-the-box, genius ideas. Your quick response to circumstances will help you move the situation into your favor, right? However, never forget there is a fine line between being a genius and being crazy, okay? Being mad, being manipulative or controlling, okay? So please be aware of that. Don't get caught up in that BS at all. Don't get caught up in being a manipulator. Don't get caught up in being, something nobody wants to be around. Hello, may I have a card, please? Angie? Sure. What kind of card? You want Oracle card? Do you want tarot card? I'm just not seeing your message here. If you're still in the chat. This is for Angie. Is she still in the chat? You don't know if she is or not, but you don't know. Okay, we'll go ahead. I'll pull an unshakable piece. I already got them in my hand. As above, so below. Let's tap into Angie's energy and give her a card of unshakable peace. That's what I wish for everybody. All right, to find your peace. Even in the midst of chaos and everybody else not knowing where they're going. I pray that you find peace. Turn your worry into wonder. Surrender to the experience. What possibilities can you dream into reality? The number 35 could be significant to you, Angie. So there could be some insecurities and doubts that you're worried about. Whatever it is you're worried about is not serving you. Instead of worrying, just turn your attention to being joyful, to being happy, to being excited. So now is an optimal time to focus on possibilities and to dream of what could be. Okay, tapping into your dreams, into your intuition, into yourself, your soul. Okay, remind yourself that you are not off track, that there is no there to get to. It is all a journey and a creative adventure of your soul. So we got the Pisces energy again with surrendering to the experience and knowing that the unknown is nothing to fear. Once again, we got confirmation on that. Just because you don't know something or not quite sure about what would happen, there's no reason to fear. It's a matter of not being codependent on anything or anyone, just trusting in yourself. It's an exciting place to step into your true self. You're the only one that can recognize your own soul, I feel like it, as far as telling you what to do and guiding you. Higher vibrating people, even lower vibrating people who recognize their own power can see your soul too. So keep that in mind. But it's you that controls your destiny here. Focus fully on the wonder of all of creation as you create the world that you wish to see. We all are so much in control of our world and the energy around us. And it took me years. You know, we all have to go to through certain trials and climb certain mountains and stay stuck in some valleys for a while until we decide to answer the call, until we decide to pay attention to our own intuition, until we decide to step forward, even not knowing or not being quite sure about what's going to happen, to be adventurous, to have that childlike mind of being trusting in your God and your faith and believing in yourself. Okay. It really all boils down to you, right? So I'm going the wrong path and looking at things differently. Well, if something you were worried about, you said you're going the wrong path. If you're resisting change, if you're resisting not paying attention to your own intuition, if you're resisting, if you hear this small, still voice in your mind about doing something that's, that you may consider to be out of your comfort zone or something that you've never done or tried before, if you still hear this voice or you keep getting reminders or seeing signs that you should do something or go a different way, then that's resisting that's going the wrong path. You're denying your own soul's journey. So pay attention to the still small voice. Pay attention to something that's a completely different out of your comfort zone. Meditate on it. You don't have to rush into anything. You just make sure you listen to what you're saying and doing what you want. It is so easy to get caught up in the energy of someone else, or get caught up in the desires of someone else, or things that you're not really resonating with, or not even really wanting to do. Um, and as far as I've come, and as long as I've been on my spiritual journey and my awakening, and how different I am than what I was before, as far as being codependent and subjected to, the whims of others really easily, because I have a people pleasing energy. Um, I recognize that on Thanksgiving Day I was with family, and I was somewhere. They were talking about having a Christmas party. I don't celebrate Christmas outside of, being at home. I'd rather just be in my own house for Christmas. I'm not, I'm not big on spending money and stuff like that. So that I've been doing that for years. I put up my tree or whatever. I make gifts for my children and for those who are really close to us, and we love to eat. So I focus on that part. But they were talking about having a party for Christmas and all this stuff, and they were talking over me, but I was just listening. My daughter was invited, but they were doing like gift exchanges and things like that, like a Secret Santa or whatever. But they were, only could spend $20. Well, that was fine, but I was interested in because they were talking about it. But then the girl asked me, she said, "Well, I'm going to invite you. I'm hearing me just talking about this party, not inviting you." And I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, I don't want to go to the Christmas party. I don't want to leave my house on Christmas Eve. I don't like to be at home. So just that easily you can get swept up in somebody else's desire. It was nothing, negative or anything, but I just don't want to go to a Christmas party. So, but I was about to agree to it or try to figure out whether or not start thinking really hard, started overthinking about whether or not I was going to go to this party and when it was and whether I should get a name or just bring some gifts or what. I was like, wait, hold on. I don't even want to go. I don't even know why she invited me. But I guess, she didn't want to be rude, but I didn't care to go because I don't really celebrate Christmas like that. I'd rather be at home if I'm going to be doing all that, right? Um, So yeah, you got to be so much. You got to be very aware of your own energy. That it can happen that quickly, and I'm not meaning anything nefarious, but just doing something that you really don't want to do. We got to stop agreeing to things that we don't want to do. Do not feel obligated to do something or push yourself to do something that you don't really want to do. That's not really in your heart. We got to stop denying who we are, how we think, how we truly feel. Because that's when we start getting into manipulation, getting resentful because we don't want to do stuff that we agreed to because we're trying to please everybody and make everybody else feel good about us. Child, be yourself. That's really what's going to make people draw to you or even want to be around you or even have some sort of attraction to you, is just you being who you are, as long as you're not hurting yourself or anyone else. I agree with you. Christmas is focusing too much on presents instead of being blessed and thankful for what you have. Absolutely. I think it's a time we should reflect on everything that we've had gotten throughout the year instead of trying to add some more debt and more junk to the house. You got to spend the rest of the fall, rest of the year, the springtime too, trying to clear all that stuff out, right? So instead of going to Christmas parties, I have a small one here for those who aren't invited. Yeah, that's what I do for my family and nearby friends. I was always left out, so I try not to leave. Oh, well, let's see. That's expressing compassion. To me, that's what this time of year really is about. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good thing. Keep that up, that good energy. And that's what we use to reflect and just be our true selves. And whoever wants to be around you, fine. If they don't, they can just move on. Less stress for everybody. Keep your circle as small as you can. But hopefully we will gather. We'll gather together. We'll have more larger groups of people who feel that way and who are compassionate and love to, share their time doing positive things and having fun and excitement and being joyful. Okay, you're very welcome, Angie. I appreciate y'all. All right, so I hope y'all check out my new reading that I put up. I haven't seen y'all in a few days. I really appreciate y'all. Please like, share, comment. I don't think you can hype up the lives, but please, if you watch the readings, please hype them up. All right, and y'all stay safe and blessed, and I will see you soon. Bye.